It's official, 2025 may be the best year ever for cozy gamers, and today I'm gonna tell you why. As just a few days ago, we had possibly the best Nintendo Direct ever for cozy gamers. Because not only did we get news that a brand new Tamagotchi Life game would be coming to the Nintendo Switch, we also got a brand new Story of Seasons, and not only a trailer for Witchbrook, but also a release date. I can't believe it either. Witchbrook is not only real, but also coming soon. So today we're going to be going through all of the cozy gaming news, including some of the things Nintendo actually didn't even tell you about. First up, let's talk about Witchbrook. Now this was first teased all the way back in 2016, so nearly 10 years ago now. And despite only showing a few screenshots, this had garnered a lot of attention over the years. But with every new year that passed and no new information was given to us, a lot of people, including myself, were wondering if this game was ever gonna be real. And not only did we get a full trailer through the Nintendo Direct, on their own YouTube channel, we also got an additional trailer with even more gameplay as well. Now, if you've never heard of Witchbrook before, this is effectively a witch life sim. And in this, you'll move to the city of Mossport to start your life as a resident witch. And not only will you be able to explore this absolutely beautiful pixel art city, but you'll also need to attend school as you're very much still a witch in training. So this means not only attending classes to develop your magical abilities, but also making sure that you pass your exams. You'll also get to choose everything that you get to do outside of school, be it making friends, decorating your home, or even visiting the local arcade. I absolutely love the fact that this is in a city rather than being in a small little town. And from the footage we've seen so far, the city looks to be so busy and so full of life. And I honestly love the fact that we're finally getting a ton of life sims that don't include farming. But by far the part that surprised me the most was the release date, as this will be coming to the Switch and Switch 2 because it's backwards compatible by the end of 2025. And considering we've had to wait nearly 10 years to get a trailer, I think we can wait a little bit longer to get the full game. Next up, let's talk about the brand new Story of Seasons game just announced, which is Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. Now, some of you might think that this game sounds familiar, and that's because it's actually a remake. It was originally released in 2008 on the DS under the name Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar. Now, for those of you who might not know, let's go through a really quick history lesson. The developers who make Story of Seasons games are actually the original developers of the Harvest Moon franchise. They just unfortunately lost the rights to the Harvest Moon name and now develop under Story of Seasons. Now, not only does this game look absolutely fantastic from the trailer footage we've seen so far, and definitely visually seems to be a step up from Story of Seasons A Wonderful Life, we also got the news that it will be coming out on August 27th on both PC and Nintendo Switch. Now, this Story of Seasons seems a little bit different from the other games I've played so far, as not only are you in a brand new town called Zephyr, you'll also be running your very own market stall alongside of your usual farming sim stuff. The part that really interests me though is the story, because as you sell more of your farm produce and your business grows, the town will grow alongside of you, and as it does, it will bring in new goods and new services as well. And hopefully this means that the gameplay remains fresh no matter how many hours that you've played, as you gradually unlock more and more things to do. The other thing that I really love about this is the ability to glide around the town. One thing I always feel about Story of Seasons games is that you move around so slowly, even when you get something like a horse to ride on. So I really hope that this will make the gameplay feel just a little bit faster. The final thing that makes this truly stand out to other Story of Seasons games is the voice acting. Now, even though the trailer didn't show us much, it did definitely hint that at least some of the lines were going to be voice acted. I think Wildflowers truly showed me just how important voice acting can be in a farming sim, as that really brought the characters to life. We don't know yet if it's going to be voice acted to that degree, but I'm excited to find out. Next up is Tamagotchi Plaza. Now, when I first saw this trailer show up, I actually thought that this was going to be a remake for the Apple Arcade Tamagotchi game, much like we got for Hello Kitty. But it turns out I am completely wrong. This is actually a brand new title coming June 27th, meaning that this summer is now going to include Tales of the Shire, Fantasy Life, this brand new game, Tamagotchi Plaza, the new Storia Seasons game, and the brand new Rune Factory. So that is 5 chunky games coming at you the summer of 2025. I told you it's going to be a fantastic year. Now, the trailer didn't really give us a lot of information, but thankfully, Bandai Namco had a ton on their website. The game starts off with the great Gotcha King declaring that the Tamagotchi Festival will be held in the city of Tamagotchi Planet. And it's going to be your job, alongside the king, to turn this town into a lively place fit to welcome the festival. Now, as this is the latest game in their Corner Shop series, it's going to feature 12 different shops around the town's plaza. And the range of these shops is absolutely wild, as there's going to be anything from a dentist to an afternoon tea shop to even eyewear, with every shop having their own unique gameplay and mini games as you serve your customers. They've also said that there's going to be multiplayer co-op games when you play with friends, and that the game will even have some linking functions to the newest Tamagotchi toy called Tamagotchi Uni. I really think that the shop gameplay feature is going to make sure it stands out alongside the likes of Hello Kitty, and I'm honestly really excited to learn a little bit more about what this game is going to be like. Now, right at the end of the Direct, we also got the news that Lu's Lagoon will be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, unfortunately, they barely gave us any Switch footage, so what you're seeing is from the PC version. But after playing a bit of the demo for this myself, it is a game I'm very excited for, as this is being described as a cozy gamer's take on Wind Waker, only with a plane instead of a boat. As this will see you set off to a small island in search for your missing uncle. The only issue is, upon his disappearance, you are also left to be in charge of his seaplane and his delivery service. So not only do you have a mystery to solve, you are also now a small business owner. And each day you'll need to collect resources to help craft goods to deliver to your customers, and use that money to upgrade your plane and expand your business further. All the while listening out for any information you can on what might have happened to your uncle. One thing I did like when I played this is the fact that there's a Slime Rancher-like approach to collecting resources, giving you this sort of like vacuum that kind of sucks up anything in your way, making it feel a bit less tedious to collect resources. Unfortunately, we have no idea when this is going to come to the Switch, we just know it's sometime in 2025. Another game only briefly mentioned was the Wandering Village, but thankfully we have a full trailer to look at for this. And this is actually already out on PC in early access, but this is described as being a city building strategy game that takes place on the back of a giant. And this is such a wonderfully unique spin on a city builder. You see, this takes place in a world where mysterious plants have spread all over the earth, emitting toxic spores as they grow. And this left a small group of survivors who found shelter on the back of these giant creatures. The only issue is, building a settlement on the back of a giant creature comes with its own challenges. As firstly, you only have a small amount of space to work with, meaning that you need to be as efficient as possible. You also need to determine what kind of relationship you're going to have with the organism that you live on top of. Now, the reviews on Steam so far are actually incredibly positive, so I'm very excited to see the full release of the game on the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you're someone who loves rhythm games, we also got a ton of rhythm games being announced, with news that Rhythm Haven Groove will be coming sometime in 2026, and also the remakes of Patapon 1 and 2 coming later this year. We also got the news that Monument Valley 1 and 2 will be coming to the Switch on April 15th, and Monument Valley 3 will be coming sometime later this year. Now, this is a series that is already available on Netflix and mobile, but if you've never played them before, not only are these games breathtakingly gorgeous, but also feature some really interesting 3D puzzles that warp and bend physics in such a fun way. One thing that will be interesting to see though is how they do the controls, as these were primarily mobile-first games, so it'll be good to see how these work with a controller. Now, in classic Nintendo Direct fashion, they also shadow dropped a game for us. And this one is called Disney Villains Cursed Cafe, which is also available on PC alongside of the Switch. And this is effectively a Disney version of Coffee Talk, as once again you find yourself behind the bar, as each of the Disney villains enters your cafe with a request, where it's up to you to make them a drink, choosing between giving them what they ask for or a cup of what they might need, and your choices will affect their ambitions. Now, I haven't played much of this at all, but so far this seems to be a more stripped back version of what we're used to seeing with Coffee Talk and Tavern Talk, as your decisions definitely feel a little bit more obvious in this one. I'm honestly not too sure about how I feel about the existence of this game though. It seems weird for Disney to take something that was so indie game coded and kind of more or less take it as their own. But I'd definitely be interested in hearing your thoughts in the comments down below. Next up, let's talk about Everdream Village. Now, even though this wasn't in the direct, it was announced just this week and is confirmed to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. This will see you grow and expand your very own village by exploring a collection of enchanted islands, each filled with their own ecosystems and resources to help your village grow even more. And in this, not only can you explore, farm, terraform, but you can also take care of your very own animals and even crossbreed them. And as this is an Everdream game, it will also allow you the ability to transform into different animals to see the world through their eyes as well. One thing that really caught my eye about this though is the fact that the town will change based on your choices, with everything that you do affecting the happiness of the villagers who live there. Now, this will be coming in early access to Steam first, but will be coming to basically all consoles once it's fully released. Alright, it's time to finally talk about the big game announcement, and that's Tamagotchi Life, Living the Dream. I never thought we'd get a Tamagotchi Life announcement, let alone it be the one last thing in a Nintendo Direct, but here we are. Now, there is one thing that really surprised me about this, and that's the fact that even though it's not coming till 2026, it's still confirmed to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. So this kind of confirms that Nintendo will be continuing the support for the console long after the Switch 2 is launched, which I think is a fantastic thing. Now, I found that trying to explain what Tamagotchi Life is actually incredibly difficult, because it's honestly more of an experience than it is a game. But I do think this trailer did a good job at demonstrating how absolutely wacky a game this franchise is. Now, if you've never played Tamagotchi Life before, which is fair as the last game came out over 10 years ago, then this is essentially a Me life sim, seeing a bunch of Miis live together on an island. Now, if this is anything like the previous games, then each of the Miis is going to have different personalities, and they can form relationships with one another and even have children. And as time goes by, you'll get to see everyone's lives change around you. But what really made Tamagotchi Life stand out is all of the activities that you could get up to. And the trailer does seem to give us a good taste of what island life is going to involve, with people dancing, shopping, and whatever this is.
Did you want to talk?
And all of it made even better by the really creepy voices that they give the Miis. This is an absolutely wacky life sim. I'm so glad it's got another chance on the Nintendo Switch, and I can't wait to see more trailers to give us a better idea of what the gameplay is going to be like. Now, there is one thing that came out of the Nintendo Direct that maybe isn't so positive, and that's the trailer we got for Fantasy Life I, the Girl Who Steals Time. Now, one fun fact about Nintendo is that in order for you to show a trailer on either their Direct or their YouTube channel, you need to include Nintendo Switch gameplay footage. And this has given us our first glimpse into what Fantasy Life might look like on the Nintendo Switch. And bear in mind, we are only a couple of months away from launch now. And although this doesn't look absolutely terrible, it maybe does look a little bit rougher than I was hoping. I was surprised to see what looks to be some frame drops even in the trailer. And if you put it side to side with the trailer we got a month or so ago for the other consoles, I think you can really see what the difference is going to be. Now, some of this will depend in what happens next week and when the Switch 2 gets announced, so I'm sort of hoping that the game gets an upgrade for the Switch 2. But hopefully this gives you a good idea as to which device to buy it on, and do bear in mind that even if you buy the deluxe edition on the Switch, you will not get early access to the game. Now, even though that's everything that happened in the Direct, we did get one more bit of news. You see, in the Nintendo Direct, they spoke about a brand new Nintendo app that would deliver us news to our phones each and every day. And they really did start off with a bang, because we got the news that the Legend of Zelda film will release worldwide on March 26th, 2027. Now that's all we know, but it is cool to know it's happening and it's coming. And hopefully we're going to get some sort of trailer sometime soon to give us an idea of the vibe of the film. Because I'm going to be real, I love Zelda, so I'm a little bit worried about them making a live action film of it. That's everything for today, and just a little reminder, I'm going to be live on this channel April 2nd for the Switch 2 Direct, so make sure you come and watch it with us. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out this video all about my Nintendo Switch collection.